Thank you guys for joining me. First of all, waiting for everybody to get up in here, man. I see two people in here, man. Thank you guys for joining me. Just want to give a quick second so people can get up in here so you can hear what I got to say. So in a few seconds, I'm pretty much going to start this because I like to get straight to the points with you guys. Shout out to Canal Ben Lawyer. Salute, fam. Salute. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Hope that you guys can hear me correctly. Hopefully the stream is not going bad. I've been trying to work on it. I decided to, kind of do something early, hopefully because that's when the times that you get the most airwaves with the Wi-Fi and things of that nature. Even though I'm not actually on Wi-Fi, but I do thank you guys for joining me, and we are going to be able to um start this stream right up for you guys. Definitely Canal Ben Lawyer. Salute, man. Salute. Hope you're doing well today. Now, I want to get to the point because I want to talk to you guys about this. So you guys can also let me know what you think in the comment section about the topics that I'm going to be talking about today. But I want to talk about yesterday. Now, yesterday evening, we saw something great. Something that I would say brought hope to this down and out Knicks fans, being myself. Something that I could say put my mind to ease. Because no matter what I thought about the Knicks' big three, no matter how I looked at their skill and dominance on the court individually, I still was left with a feeling inside of me, guys, that if these three couldn't come together collectively, then all else with this team would definitely fail. So yesterday when RJ, he held his press conference with Monica McNutt. Shout out to them. That was a good press conference. I loved it. It was entertaining, you know. So when RJ Barrett held his press conference yesterday, Monica McNutt made it in a point to be mentioning Jalen Brunson's name. And when she mentioned the new acquisition of Jalen Brunson, RJ was upbeat about it. He was happy about it. He talked about how him and Jalen Brunson, how they both were were leaders. Now that let me know that these guys were on the same page because they talked about similar things. And even though Randall name wasn't mentioned, I can honestly say that I got the sense that RJ Barrett was talking about him as well. And it got me to thinking, if these three players, these three ballers could get together and realize their potential and how good they actually could be together, it got me to the point where we're at now. So, without further ado, good afternoon, Knick fans. It's yeah, boy. And you are now tuned into another episode of OU a Knicks podcast. I'd like to thank you all for joining me. And if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you doing? Hit that like and subscribe button for your boy so you could be a part of this Knicks family and stay up to date anytime we go live or drop a new video. We trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So tell your fellow Knick fans, like, hey, you should go check out OUA Knicks podcast and subscribe to them because we have to support our own. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell and help a brother out. And thank you in advance for doing that. Now, I know the thought. I know how you're feeling. Oh, guys, man, I think I was talking to you guys and you guys wasn't even hearing me. But the stream did go out. My whole computer went out. I'm telling you, man, I'm definitely gonna have to get me a new provider for my internet because I've been needing to talk to you guys, and it's been for the last, I say, month. My streaming has been completely horrible. So, like I was saying, when you look at these teams, all you see is star players. Yes, they are great, but still, we are left with the fact that only one ball and one goal is needed. So if you could get every player to want the same goal and be willing to sacrifice in order to achieve that, then you are making a good team for that season. So in this video, we are going to touch on our big three and see how they can come together to make this a surprise season for not only the fans, but for the league as well. So, guys, so let's say they come together and no injuries occur. I see this team winning 48 to 55 games next season. And I know some of you are like, bruh, you smoking something mean and green. But peep out the method to my madness. You got three players, being RJ, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson, who are all dominant in the paint. They are all effective when driving to the paint. They all can finish with the best of them when they are around the basket. Oh, shout out to Joseph Clark. I'm forever the optimist, man. I am forever the optimist. I got to say that, man. I got to say that. I am forever the optimist. And what I would say is the most promising thing about these three players, they all can live at the free throw line. Now, I get it. We all hope that Randall and Barrett can bring, their percentages up at the line. And yesterday, this was something that RJ Barrett talked about. So let's say that he does up his percentage to, like, let's say 80% per game. We could go in the 78, 79, 77 to 80%, at the free throw line per game. And let's say that, Randall does the same. Can we all agree that would increase their win totals by 5 games? Can we all agree to that? Now, last season, we lost at least 10 games because the lack of good free throw shooting from Barrett and Randall. I mean, we saw them suffer at the line at some times, and it was ugly. Just watching them struggle and struggle and struggle from the free throw line. And this wasn't in games where we were getting blown out and it was basically over. These were games where we were up by 73, please. What you mean by that, bro? 73, please. Let me know, Canal Ben Lawyer. Oh, you talk about with the percentage 73? Nah. I don't think I want them to be at 73. We need Julius Randle and RJ Barrett at least in the 78 to 80% range in order for us to be a dominant team. And like I was saying, we seen them struggle. We seen them struggle. Oh, you talk about free throw percentage for RJ Barrett? Yeah. Yeah, he was I believe yeah, he could have been at 73 and it was horrible. It was definitely horrible last season. Shout out to Hanker Harms. He said, "Hello Knicks Nation. Hello Knicks Nation. What's up to you, brother? I hope everything is well." I'm not really, Canal Ben Lawyer. I'm not really sure about what RJ's percentage was last year. I can't think of it off the head. I think it was around maybe 74, 75. It was around, it was in the 70s. I know that for sure. And on some nights, shoot, he was shooting 50% on a lot of nights. That's why I was saying, like, all them games wasn't blowout games. I mean, some I could say that some of those games we were up by 10 to 20 points at the half, and they started fumbling with their free throw percentages, and it brought us all down. And then there were some games where we were neck and neck with the opposing team, and other teams knew. Nah, I don't think it was in the 60s. I think it was in the 70s. It could have been in the low 70s, I believe, with RJ Barrett, his free throw percentage. I think it was in the low 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure. I can't really think of it off the head. I've seen it before, I've looked it up, but I can't really think of it off the top of my head right now what RJ's percentage was last season. But like I was saying, there were games where we were in it, and these guys fumbled what it was, and we wind up losing the game because they couldn't, teams knew that they couldn't get it done at the free throw line, so they will constantly foul them. You got to think about it. RJ was one of the top 10 players at that went to the foul line. There was times where him and Julius Randle I'm talking about each of them went to the line about 5 to 7 times in a game because teams knew that, hey, these guys are not very strong three free throw shooters, so we're going to foul them while they're in the paint and get them to the line, and they fail, and they worked a lot of times. Shout out to Canal Ben Lawyer. He said, I think Cam should be a closer next to Brunson, RJ, Randall, and Obi. Cam free throw percentage is 89. That's not bad. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I really didn't. I did not know that Cam was shooting that good from the free throw line. Cam is a player that I don't really have too much faith in because the simple fact is I don't believe that he will remain healthy enough. I believe that he will end up getting, what Hinkerham, well, I don't think, basically, I don't think Cam Reddish is healthy enough to be. He's not. He's all over the place when he drives to the basket. He's constantly falling over. He takes really sketchy shots. And sometimes I think that he has tunnel vision when he does get the ball and doesn't realize that some shots are not necessarily for you. Some things are basically, to when somebody passes you the ball, maybe it's time for you to make another pass to another player. I believe that will help Cam out if he realizes that. But he is a good player and he does have a high ceiling, but I don't think that he realizes that. And I don't think that he's taken, you know, the proper steps to be able to hone that skill. Henker Harm said, what do you think the chat is among the current NBA players? Why has a top 10 player not claimed Madison Garden for themselves? um, just like what Ben Lawyer said, because they are scared. I believe that too. I believe a lot of players are not built for I don't believe a lot of players are built for New York's media. And I believe that New York Knicks try to shield them sometimes, like we witnessed yesterday. You didn't have no media in there to ask RJ Barrett them hard questions, even though I feel that RJ Barrett would have answered them. But they don't shield them too much to the fact where they have to hide because media day, training camp, throughout the season, you're going to get them hard questions from, media members like Mark Berman, Ian Begley, you know, and reporters like that. They are going to ask you those questions that you know are hard to answer. So I do agree with Canal Ben Lawyer that a lot of people are scared to come to the New York Knicks because they know that once you come to the New York Knicks, it's a certain, way that you have to go about yourself. And you're going to the media capita of the world to where you're going to you're not going to be shielded from those tough questions. So yes, I do believe that a lot of players are scared. I believe a lot of players hold grudges against the Knicks, so forth, like a Donovan Mitchell when they weren't picked by the Knicks, when the Knicks had a chance to pick them. I believe a lot of players hold that against the New York Knicks. I mean, a player like Steph Curry can't because he was picked before the Knicks, but if you really listen to the conversation with them, he said out his own mouth that he believed the Knicks could have traded up for him if they really wanted him. So I believe that a lot of players hold grudges against the Knicks. I believe a lot of players are mentally, how can I say, mentally bandwagon where they listen to what other media like ESPN, Fox Sports, and all of these guys say about the New York Knicks, and they hold a judgment over the New York Knicks to make them not want to be in an organization. We constantly hear about James Dolan. You get what I mean? James Dolan don't ain't doing nothing with the Knicks. James Dolan is working on his other projects. Leon Rose and Co are the ones who's making all the decisions for the New York Knicks at this time. We could even say that James Dolan wasn't making any decisions when Phil Jackson was there, when Steve Mills was there, because he was focusing on things of his own. But constantly we hear the media talk about him like he's the one making all of the decisions when in real actuality, that is not the case. So that's another reason why I know that a lot of players don't come because they're being fed, they're listening to these shows, they're feeding into the media, and it's clouding their judgment when it comes to the New York Knicks. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Canal Ben Lawyer. He said, but Mitchell would have done it, but Danny wasn't dealing with us. It was a lot of things in that whole Donovan Mitchell saga that I mean, I really don't even care about it. I was more so happy that we wasn't trading RJ Barrett. That he was the last dude that I wanted on the team to get traded because I wanted to pair him with Donovan Mitchell. That would have made us. I choose in my heart if we would have got Donovan Mitchell, it's a guarantee we would have been a top 14 with Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Brunson. It's a guaranteed fact. Shout out to Hinker Harms. He said, Madison is there for any player who wants to be a legend. I completely agree. In the next few years, 5 plus, an international talent will probably come here and show others how to play big arenas. You think it might be the guy that we already got, Jokic, what's his name? Rokish Yobitis, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Canal Ben Lawyer said the cost was too high. It definitely was. I was not interested in the New York Knicks giving up RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell. I like our young core. I do too, bro. I definitely like Quentin Grimes. I definitely like Quentin Grimes, and I definitely like Jericho Sims. I believe those two guys can be, you know, not all stars. Maybe Quentin Grimes can be an all star, but not Jericho Sims. But I believe they could be complement players on any team that they're on. With just Sims and his athleticism, and Grimes with his 3-and-D play, I believe that. But like I was saying, if RJ Barrett and Julius Randle can have good seasons at the free throw line, I guarantee you that the Knicks will be a scary team. And the same can be said about their shooting. If all three of Brunson, Barrett, and Randall have even pedestrian numbers at the arc. The Knicks have the ability to be a top five, or let's say top six team in the East. Now, I'm talking like if all of them are hitting, even just 35% from three, I can see them winning over 50 games, barring any injuries and basically barring any slip ups from our players from last season. If everybody is doing good on the team, if everybody is locked in and ready to go, I truly believe that they can win over 50 games. What's one of the reasons? Well, people may not mention this, but we have one of the best shooters from last season in Evan Fournier, who hit about 40% of his threes last season. Now, those aren't easy numbers. Not to mention, teams respect his shot. So, a lot of tough threes were made by Evan Fournier. And we seen that when he was on and he was locked in from threes, that in addition left Randall and RJ open because teams knew Evan Fournier's dead eye and knew that if they didn't pay attention to him and lock him down, it's a guarantee he could score. He could he can make at least 7 threes in that game. And now that Brunson, who is not great, but at least competent at the three, this not only helps RJ Barrett and free up Randall, but it also gives Fournier the ability to be open as well because you got teams who's not going to leave Jalen Brunson open from three because he can shoot. He's not a great shooter. He's not no Curry or anybody like that, but he can shoot. You get what I'm saying? So not only will that free up RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, but it's also going to make Evan Fournier a better shooter and leave him open most times. That's why I believe, even though, in my opinion, I will put Quentin Grimes in the starting lineup because of his defense, I realized that Evan Fournier is a better shooter. And if you have Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, all being competent from the three-point land, that gives Evan Fournier more room to work. Shout out to Canal Ben Lawyer. He said, I want to see the trio of RJ, Grimes, and Cam on the wing. That would definitely be good. Hinker Harm said, we know about the media, but realistically, it's that New York area just has too many distractions. We need a big year from Mitchell Robinson. Yes, we do. We need Mitchell Robinson to not only anchor the defense, but average at least 12 to 14 points per game. That's another thing that will bring the New York Knicks over the top. So, what I was saying, with everything, let me ask you, do you guys see where I'm going? So if we could have all of these guys, barring injury, if we could have the whole team, including this big three of Randall, Brunson, and RJ, all hitting on all cylinders, what is your prediction of wins? Do you think the Knicks can be dominant if all goes right? Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you're new to the channel and you would like to support, all I ask is that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's easy and it's free and won't take up too much of your time. So I would like to thank you in advance because I know you guys are good and you want to see me succeed. So thank you. I love all you guys because you constantly support me and you just been there. So I really do thank you guys. So let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you see what is your prediction for this team? If everything goes right with the New York Knicks, can they reach 50 wins? Be honest, guys. I won't get mad. Be honest. Just let me know. What do you guys think? If everything plays out good for the New York Knicks, can they reach 50 wins? Shout out to Hinker Harms. He says, tough to say, but those three playing at all-star level could net us home playoffs. I completely agree. I completely agree. I just favorited that. Listen to what Hinker Harms has to say. He said those three playing at all-star level could net us home court advantage in the playoffs. I completely agree. Because everybody is really sleeping on this squad. Because of the whole Donovan Mitchell saga, now that we didn't get him, everybody thinks that the Knicks, I heard, who was it? Jeff Van Gundy say that the Knicks aren't even a play-in team. How is that? How is that when they maintain their core and added somebody who we saw dominate in the playoffs last season? How does that only make this team a play-in team? Sure, other teams did get better, but they didn't get that better. Did the Atlanta Hawks really get that better? I mean, they did get Javante, but they also lost Gallinari. They also lost Kevin Herter, players who made a difference on their team. Sure, you got up and coming teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers who got Donovan Mitchell now. But can we really say that the Knicks can't be competitive against these teams? We can't really say that, in my opinion. Now, also something that I saw from RJ yesterday that, oh my God, it had me tickled, was his comments on defense. Now, if you've been following me all this time, you know that I'm not a fan of RJ Barrett's defense because, I believe he gives a lackadaisical effort. And in my opinion, he never turns the lock on back doors. So when they credit him on defense, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. Not saying that, RJ Barrett doesn't try, but we have to be honest. RJ Barrett is not a very good defender, even though he was better last season. I think he needs, I think he needs to be better. And if he is, I believe that will turn the tables on our season in a big way. That means if him, Randall, and Mitch, like you guys just mentioned, if these three can anchor the defense, that will shield liabilities like Brunson and Fournier. And it will give us less breakdowns in the paint and the wing. Because we can't deny Tom Thibodeau's formula when it comes to defense. And RJ Barrett even admitted that yesterday. So let me know, guys, what do you think? Can Barrett become an above average defender? And if Barrett does become an above average defender, will that net the Knicks more wins this season? Shout out to Hanker Harms. He said opinion on Knicks trading for an extra inside or outside defender. Hmm. Maybe mid-season if we're lacking. I agree with that second part. If we are not a very good, but you remember the Knicks wasn't that all that great at the beginning of the season last year, but at the second half of the season, the Knicks turned it up on defense and became like number 11 in defensive rating throughout the whole league, which is awesome. So, I mean, my hope is that they continue to carry that over into this season. And if they do, I mean, there won't be a need to bring in somebody at the trade deadline, even though you could still do it and it just might help the Knicks. I just feel that all the Knicks really need is for RJ Barrett and Julius Randle to focus more on defense. If they can focus more on defense, and I'm pretty sure, excuse me, guys, if they could focus more on defense, then I'm pretty sure the Knicks can be 11 again in defensive rating. So if the Knicks can be number 11 again in defensive rating, guys, do you think that will net them, let's say, 5 to 10 wins early on? Let me know, guys. Do you think if RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, specifically RJ Barrett, because we know we've seen Julius Randle be dominant on defense. So if these guys, specifically RJ Barrett, can get things going and be dominant, at least above average on defense, do you guys believe that can net the Knicks, let's say, 5 to 10 wins? Let me know in the comment section, guys. And then we're gonna, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't want to, hold you guys all afternoon. I know you guys probably at work or you got things that you need to do right now, which I do as well because I got a lot of business to handle, a lot of business calls that I gotta get to. But I want to know this from you guys. If RJ Barrett and Julius Randle can step it up on defense, can the Knicks can that net the Knicks 5 to 10 more wins? Now, this is all on the road to me saying that the Knicks have the potential to win over 50 wins this season. And these are the things that play into it. Your free throw percentage, your three-point percentage, and also your defense. Can RJ Barrett and Julius Randle up their free throw percentage in order to be able to get over the hump when they're dominating teams and the teams start to foul them late in the game? Can them upping their free throw percentage be good enough to net them 5 to 10 more wins? Can it get them to a 50-win season? Also, what comes with that? Can they up their percentage in 3 points to where they're shooting at least 35%, which is league average? When they're shooting league average with the addition of Fournier, who's shooting at least 40%, and Jalen Brunson, who's in the 36, 37% tile, if he can do that, does that bring the Knicks up to 50 wins, guys? Hinker Harm says a good defensive play energizes the offense as well. So, yes, you remember that's what when they asked RJ Barrett last night, what amps him up. And he said a good defensive play to where they get the ball out and they're running and they're making things happen. We've seen a lot of that with him and Obi Toppin. Very good. And Jericho Sims as well. So defense as well. I believe if the Knicks can be good in the free throw department, the 3-point department, in the defensive department, I truly believe that the New York Knicks will win above 50%. That means what? 42 games? I believe that they can win up to 50 games guaranteed. You get what I'm saying? So, I won't hold you guys up, you know, any longer. And I also want to thank you guys for coming through and chopping it up with me. It's been fun. It's always appreciated. And if this is your first time here, I ask that like and share this video with your friends. Please subscribe to the channel because we would love to see you back. And as always, thank you for your support. If you're a returning viewer and you're still on the fence, I ask that you subscribe just because it's a good thing to do. I do this for you guys, not just because I'm a Knicks fan, but I do this also for you guys. So I definitely want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. We will be, chopping it up again soon. I'm still trying to work on this internet and make sure that my streams don't cut out because I'm looking at my internet right now and it's looking terrible. I don't know how you guys are enjoying it, but if it has messed up during like it did earlier, I truly am sorry. But I want to thank you guys for still sticking around and rocking with me. So, I mean, if you're one of the loyals, I definitely want to give a huge thank you to you. I mean, you guys inspire me and you guys motivate me, and I love you guys for that. And trust me, I'm in the works of making this channel better. So stay with me, guys. The season isn't here yet, but now that we know who's who, we can now dwell on what they need to do to make it back to the playoffs this season. So all I ask is that you bear with our guys because they're not getting the credit that they deserve, and that's not right. So keep riding with them and have faith. You guys stay blessed, and I want you to remember to always lead by example.